All right, so today we are going to be in page 51 in our workbook and on page 7 in Agile Mind on our computers. So, our objective today and our goal is that we can understand and apply the relationship among factors in rate problems. We're also going to focus on using rates and proportional reasoning to solve real world problems, including consumer situations, like whenever we go to the store to buy something. So, for our opening question today, I want us to think about some of the rates and the unit rates that we've already talked about. So, how can we find a unit rate when one or both of the values in a rate is a fraction? How would we find the unit rate when one or both of the values in a rate is a fraction? What do you have to do? How do we normally find a rate or a unit rate?
Divide.
Yeah, we divide. So with a fraction,
You multiply.
we multiply by the what?
Denominator.
Well, kind of, sort of. What do we have to do to a fraction so that we can multiply by it if we want to divide?
What's that thing called? We gotta switch them.
That's right. We flip it over.
Switch 'em.
That's right. So we multiply by the reciprocal. So remember that a reciprocal means that we take the fraction and we flip it over. And instead of dividing by a fraction, we multiply by the fraction after it's flipped over. All right. So good job. Now, so I'm going to give you a scenario. Say, for instance, we can run 1.5 miles in a half hour. How far could you run in 1.5 hours? I'm going to restate that. If you can run 1.5 miles in a half hour, how far can you run in 1.5 hours? So we can do 1.5 miles in a half hour. Somebody gave me an answer. How'd you get your answer?
Because you said an hour and a half, right?
Correct.
So I did about a mile and a half plus a mile and a half plus a mile and a half, and then I got 3 over 1.5.
Correct. You're 100% correct. Great job, Jacaden. So he said that what he did was he did 1.5 plus 1.5 plus 1.5. All right. But I said correct, but that's not correct. Think about it. 1.5 plus 1.5 would be 3 plus 1.5.
3.5.
Think about it again. All right.
Right, 2 over 3.
Look, 1 and 1/2. He said plus 1 and 1/2 plus 1 and 1/2. So how many whole numbers do we have?
3.
3. So that's 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 plus, what's 1/2 plus 1/2?
2.
Get a mask on. All right. So when we get 2 halves, that would be 2 halves equals 1 whole. Good job, Chandler. And so we got 3 plus 1 plus a half, which is going to be what?
Shoot. 1 and 1.
Think about it. What's 3 plus 1? What's
4.
3 plus 1? 4.
4 and 1.
There you go.
4.5.
Good deal. All right. So what I want is, in the overview, you explored unit rates in an oatmeal recipe. The recipe calls for 1.5 cups of oats and 2.5 cups of water. You found 2 unit rates associated with the ratio of oats to water. In this animation, you will decide which unit rate to use to answer different questions. Which unit rate should you use to answer the question shown? Drag the unit rate into the equation, then answer the question by filling the blank. So it says that 3/5 cups of oats per cup of water, or 5/3 cups of water per cups of oats? The question states, if you have 3 cups of oats, how many cups of water do you need? So we need to do 3 cups of oats multiplied by what to determine how many cups of water?
4.5 cups of water.
Oh, let's see.
Because that's what we got just a few minutes ago.
Well, could you, like, even if you multiplied, let's see, 3 times 5, wouldn't it have to be like, if you did 3 times 5/3, you would get 5 cups of water, wouldn't you?
My bad, I thought you said that. Yeah.
And if we did 3 times 3/5, then we would be getting 9/5 of water. So what makes more sense?
The 5/3.
Good job, girl. All right, so we're gonna pull 5/3 cups of water. Cups of water per cup of oats. All right, look at that. It gave us a check, and we have to multiply that together. So 3 times 5 is
15. What if it's
15. And what's 15 divided by 3?
5.
5 whole cups of water. All right, we got it all right. And y'all know how y'all said that was you had to Erica had to pause on some of those. Those were some big words on there, so that makes sense. Some of those words we don't say a lot. All right, so here we go. Let's keep moving. Said we did nice work here. All right, so page 2. All right, page 2. Remember, while we're doing this, this is all questions 1, part A through D in your workbook. So make sure that you are doing that now. So it says, which unit rate should you use? Huh?
What's the big word is it? Associated isn't a big word. Animation.
Yeah, but it's just words we don't use much. With animation, associated, all kind of stuff. Like recipe looks weird. It's hard for a lot of people. All right. So anyways, all right, moving on along. Which unit rate should you use to answer the question shown? Drag that unit rate into the equation. Then answer the question by filling in the blank. All right, so this one says, if you have 2 cups of oats, how many cups of water do you need? So what do we need to do to determine how many cups of water we will need?
Multiply.
That's right. What are we multiplying 2 cups of oats by?
By 1 cup.
Well, we have to either multiply it by 3 cups of oats, or we have to do it by 5/3 cups of water. So which one would we use to determine how much water we need?
The water? The water?
Go with your gut. Yes, the water. We're multiplying by the water. So we got 2 cups times 5/3 cups of water. And the reason we're doing this is because this is what allows us to determine how much water we're going to use in all. So I don't want to walk us through this because I just walked us through the other one. So Chandler, tell me how to do this. What am I doing? Halen, do you want to help him out? Halen's raising her hand. Is that okay, Chandler?
Yeah.
Chandler, is that okay? I think Chandler froze. Yeah, it froze. Go ahead, Halen.
So we got to multiply 5 times 2.
Correct. What's 5 times 2?
And that's 10. And then you got to divide it by 3.
Correct. So let's use that calculator.
10 divided by 3. 2 1/3.
You're close. Nine divided by 3 is 3. So 10 divided by 3 would be 3 and 3 and 1/3. Good. 3 and 1/3. So I'm going to put that in there. You could either put 3.33 or 3 and 1/3. Let's see if it goes in there right.
I know, like 31 and 1/3.
I know, I'm trying to fix it. Look at there, it read it. Or we could have also put 3.33. Okay, we doing good so far. All right, so look at what we're noticing though. We're taking the cups of oats and we're determining the cups of water that we need. All right. Uh-oh, so this looks a little different. All right, so look at this one, Militant. I want you to read this for us.
What part?
The part with the red circle over it.
Oh, if you have 5 cups of water, how many cups of oats do you need? 5 cups water and blank cups of oats.
Okay, so what are we going to do to determine how many cups of oats we would need? What would we have to do here?
Multiply.
That's right. What are we multiplying?
That's 3 over 3.5. 3 over 5 cups of oats per water.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do my 3/5. I'm going to put it right here. It says we got it right. And so once again, we just got to multiply it together. Okay, so let's go with Deonti. Multiply this out for us, Deonti.
You're multiplying 5 by 3, right?
Correct. What's 5 times 3?
15.
Correct.
15, I think.
And then we have to do 15 divided by what?
5.
Correct. And what is 15 divided by 5?
I'm very bad at division.
That's okay. You got some partners that are helping you out. They're putting their number up on their hand. 5 divided by, there you go. Somebody put it in the chat box. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Good job. Good teamwork, guys.
No problem.
All right, number 4. I'm going to get Chandler to go through this one now since he got some help while ago. Chandler, read this and tell us what we'll do.
Waiting. If you have 3 cups of water, how many cups of oats would you need? 3 cups of water equals cups of oats.
So what am I multiplying 3 cups of water by to determine the cups of oats?
3/5.
Good job. All right. And so when we do that, how do we figure out how many cups of oats we would get? What do we have to do?
We first multiply 3/5, which we get 15. Then we divide 15 by 3, which would be 5.
All right, you're close.
So 5 cups of oats.
All right, you're close. All right. Help him out there. I got Halen waving her hand at me sporadically. Help him out, Halen.
You gotta multiply 3 times 3, and that's 9, and then you gotta divide it by 5.
All right. So to break that down, what we're doing is we're taking the whole number. Go ahead, Erica. We're doing 3 times the numerator, which is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to write this down so we can see it. All right. And 3 times 3 is 9. And we put it over our denominator, which is 5. So we get 9/5, or we can see how many times 5 goes into 9. How many times does 5 go into 9, class?
What?
1 time. And so we get 1 and how many fifths?
4/5.
4/5.
4.
Good.
4. Because I can't count.
4/5.
All right, so I'm going to try to put 1 and 4/5 in there. So I'm doing 1 space 4-5, and we're going to see if that works. That worked out perfect. You probably could have put in 9/5 and it would have worked also. But are we supposed to leave an improper fraction improper?
No, sir.
No, we're supposed to convert it to a mixed number. All right, good job. Well, we did good. So that should be our answers for questions 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D.
Mr. Martin, I didn't get 1C.
Okay. What's the question say?
If you have 5 cups of water, how many cups of oats do you need?
All right, so you had to do 5 times 3/5 to get our answer. So what should we have got, class? What should we have got for C?
3 over 5 cups of oats. 3 over 5 and 3.
Yeah, 3. Just 3 by itself. Good.
My stud had took me off.
That's
I
okay.
tried to unmute one mic. My stud took me off.
That's okay. All right, we're going to keep moving. Number 8. All right, let's let Emma read this for us, please, ma'am.
In many proportional reasoning situations, the quantities involved are not whole numbers. Consider this problem. Brian is making lemon ginger punch for a picnic. Her recipe calls for 3/4 cup of lemonade and 1/3 cup of ginger ale. She wants to make 26 cups of the lemon ginger punch. She needs to keep the ratio of the ingredients the same as the original recipe. How many cups of lemonade and how many cups of ginger ale will she need? Try to solve the punch recipe problem, then play the animation to check your work.
Good job. Go ahead, Halen. All right, so it says Brianna decides to use a table of ratios to organize her thinking. First, she determines how many cups of punch she can make with one batch of the recipe. So we're going to play this and see what happens. So she's using 3/4 cups of lemonade, 1/3 cups of ginger ale. So how many cups of punch is that in all? Notice how they converted 3/4 and 1/3 to have a common denominator. And so who can tell me how they got this common denominator of 12? What did they do? Anybody know? All right, so they actually, Chandler.
They both
Hold
planted by.
Hold up, Chandler's answering. Hold up, Sarah. Chandler's answering, and then Sarah can go. What'd they do, Chandler?
Cups of lemonade multiplied by 3 to get 12 and 9.
Good.
9 12s, and cups of ginger ale multiplied by 4 to get 4 12s.
All right, good job. Sarah, I'm going to let you answer the next part since Chandler answered all that perfect. Good job. So that's how we got 9 12s and 4 12s. And then what did they do to find the total cups, Sarah?
They divided.
Did they divide?
Or no? Or no, they multiply.
How do we get a total? We put it together. So they took 9 12s and 4 12s, and they did what?
Mr. Martin summed it up.
They added them. Good.
4 12s and 4 12s.
All right, tell me this. Why does the denominator stay in the 12s? Why isn't that 24ths?
Because they're both the same.
Correct. This is like 9 12ths of a cup, and this is 4 12ths of a cup. And so that means when you take 9 12ths plus 4 12ths, we get 13 12ths. Okay? Great job. Number 2. All right, so it says next, Rihanna multiplies the amount of each ingredient by 12 so that she can work with whole numbers instead of fractions. That's a smart girl. All right, so that way she doesn't have to work with fractions because a lot of people don't like fractions. So they took the common denominator and multiplied it by both of those, and now she has whole numbers.
Mr. Mar, what question is this?
This is in
I'm trying to see.
This is in question 2 on your workbook.
Oh.
All right. And so let's see what she did for number 3. Now it says that she wants to determine how much she would need to get 26 cups of punch. So she needs 9 cups of lemonade and 4 cups of ginger ale. So what would she have to do to increase it? What's she going to have to multiply them by?
I don't know.
What did she just multiply by?
2.
By 2.
2.
By 2. Because 13 times 2 is 26. Since 13 times 2 is 26, all she has to do is double the cups of lemonade and double the cups of... Yes. And double the cups of ginger ale. Perfect. All right. Has everybody got that written down in their workbook?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go ahead and look at page 9. All right. So we're going to use this page to focus on using unit rates to solve the problem that we had on the previous page. Okay. So remember to focus on the unit rate to solve our problem. Okay. This is going to be for questions 3 through 5 in our workbook. All right. Militon, read this for us, please, sir.
You could also use unit rates to solve problems involving Brianna lemon ginger punch. Remember her recipe called for 3/4 cup of lemonade and 1/3 cups of ginger ale. Can you find 2 unit rates associated with this ratio?
All right. So if we're talking about unit rates, we would say there's how many cups of lemonade to 1 cup of ginger ale. How would we find that? What would we have to do?
Divide.
Correct. All right. So remember, when we divide, when we're working with fractions, we can't write it like this. We have to do what y'all call is keep, change, flip, but I say multiply by the reciprocal. So that means we have to do
By
what?
the what? That's what it called. Keep, change, flip. That's what it called.
Correct.
Right.
So we're multiplying. Multiply by the reciprocal. Reciprocal.
What is the reciprocal?
I
just say you gotta flip it. I just say you gotta flip it because I ain't know how to see it.
That's all good. So the reciprocal is when we take 1/3 and we flip it over. And then we're going to change this sign to multiplication. So we get 3/4 times, what is the reciprocal of 1/3?
3/1.
Good.
Yay.
And so we get 9 what?
9/4.
Good. So that's 9/4 cups of lemonade to 1 cup of ginger ale. Okay. So let's see how we can figure out how many cups of ginger ale you need for 1 cup of lemonade. What would I have to do?
Divide.
Correct. So this time, though, I'm starting with what instead of 3/4?
1/3.
Good. So I'm doing 1/3 divided by 3/4. But once again, we can't divide by a fraction. We have to multiply by the what?
Reciprocal. Whatever
Good
that
job.
word is.
Reciprocal. All right. So we change our sign to multiplication and we multiply by the reciprocal. So what is the reciprocal of 3/4?
4/3.
Good. What is 4 times 1?
4.
Good. What is 3 times 3?
9.
All right. So that means that 4/9 cups of ginger ale to 1 cup of what?
Lemonade.
Lemonade. All right, so let's see what they had. Get us some room. Oh, I erased all that and it popped back up. What is the chance of that happening? Okay, so looking at their answers, is this what we got?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what we got. So that means we're super smart. All right. So it says, notice again that the two associated unit rates are reciprocals. What? I told y'all, of each other. What's a reciprocal?
Basically, you just gotta flip it. You gotta flip
Keep
it.
saying flip.
Yeah.
We flip the what?
Fraction.
The fraction. Good job. So it says you use the unit rates to find the answer to the following questions. All right. So we're going to use these unit rates. So it says if Rihanna has 8 cups of lemonade, how many cups of ginger ale does she need to make the punch? All right. So I haven't heard from some people. Let's go with Keegan. Keegan, what do you think we need to do?
Multiply.
All right. So it says we're going to try to make 8 cups of lemonade. It wants to know how much ginger ale. So what do I need to do to determine that?
Multiply 8 by
Would I be multiplying it by the ginger ale or by the lemonade?
the ginger ale.
Correct. So let's do 4 nights. So remember, we take the whole number and multiply it by the numerator. What's 8 times 4?
32.
Good.
Jesus Christ.
I know she got him that time. All right. Divided by what? What's our denominator?
9.
Good. He got you that time. All right. So here we go. We're going to see how many times 9 goes into 32. 9 goes into 32. How many times?
4.
All right. 9 times 4 is 36. That can't work.
Then 3 times.
Yeah. 9 times 3 is 27.
7. Why did your light that turn off?
It always does. It's just no good. What's 12 minus 3?
10. 9.
I asked the wrong question. What is 12 minus 7?
5.
5. So I get 3 and what?
5.
5 what?
9.
Ninths. Good. All right. So remember that our remainder is our numerator and that our divisor, which is the number that we're dividing by, is the denominator. Okay? All right. So let's check our work. Let's get this off of here. Isn't that what we got? Good job, Keegan. Good job. Everyone else that helped us, y'all did great. All right, so let's look at the next one. Let's let Lainey read this one for us, please.
If Rihanna has lemonade, does she need to make the punch?
Good job. So what are we going to do, Lainey, to figure this out? What do I need to do with the 8 cups of ginger ale to figure out how many cups of lemonade she needs?
We're gonna multiply.
We are multiplying by what? Would I be multiplying by 4 ninths or 9 fourths?
4 ninths.
All right, so 4 ninths is going to give us what we did up here to find how many cups of ginger ale we need, but we already know how many cups of ginger ale we need. So we're trying to figure out how many cups of lemonade we need. So what do we need to do? You can help her out But don't say the answer. Try to tell her what to do without saying the answer.
We're looking for the lemon. We're looking for how much lemonade that she needs to make the punch, not the ginger ale. So you gotta say what we found out. Can I just say the answer? I'm not gonna explain stuff.
All right, so Lainey, what she's trying to say is we did 4 nights times the lemonade last time to figure out how many cups of ginger ale we need. So this time we're going to have to take our opposite unit rate so that we can figure out how many cups of lemonade we need. So what do we need to multiply 8 by? Do you want some help, Lainey? Lainey, you want to keep trying or you want some help?
I need help.
All right, help her out, everybody.
It's 9/4.
All right, good. We're going to multiply by 9/4. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check our answer. It's going to show us how to do that. 8 times 9 is 72 divided by 4 gives us how many cups of lemonade? 18 cups of lemonade. Good. All right, number 10. All right, so number 10, it says, on the previous page, we saw proportional reasoning problem involving fractions using similar reasoning to solve the puzzle. When he's not in a hurry, Kevin walks 2/3 of a mile in 2/5 of an hour. He lives 1 mile from his school. So can you use this information to complete the statements? Jacaden's really good at working with fractions, figuring out distances. So I think Jacaden ought to lead us in how to solve this. So it says at this rate, Kevin can walk blank miles in 1 hour. And then the other one says at this rate, it takes Kevin blank hours to walk to school.
You got this, Jacaden.
Jacaden might have. Oh, I was about to say, maybe Jacaden went to sleep. All right, what are we going to do, Jacaden? Not sure? Could we solve it the same way that we did the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would we do?
Do we divide?
Multiply.
I think that would work because it says, can you use the information? Yeah, we can use the information, but we just got to figure out what to do with it. So it says he walks 2/3 of a mile in 2/5 of an hour. And it says at this rate, Kevin can walk blank miles in 1 hour. So 2/5 plus 2/5 plus
4/5.
Yes. All right. So we need to figure out how to set it up to where we're getting a whole number, and then we'll be able to answer our question. Or we could find the unit rate also. I'm going to get a hint. It says, what are the 2 unit rates for this scenario?
That's not a hint.
That's another question. That's no way near a hint.
All right. Well, don't we know how to find unit rates?
I forgot.
What did we do a while ago? You just told me what to do.
Oh, we divide.
Yeah, so we would do 2/3 divided by 2/5. And really that means we have to multiply by the what?
By the numerator.
No, starts with an R. Reciprocal.
I am not gonna say that word.
Keep track, look.
Good. So what's 2 times 5?
10.
2 times 5 is 10.
So I get 10 6. So that's 10 cups. 10 cups. 10/6 of a mile in 1 hour.
Oh, that really, Kevin?
All right.
That's not Kevin. You know that's
But
not
look at
Kevin.
this. But look at this. Is 10/6 up there?
No.
No.
So how do we find out what our answer would be?
Hold on.
We gotta multiply.
Gotta redo it.
No, we
real
just
quick.
got to see how many times 6 goes into
10.
10.
It's supposed to be 10 one time.
Correct.
It's 1 2/3.
Correct. Good job. I told you Jacaden would get it.
Because Jacaden, you know Jacaden.
All right. He said that 1 4/6 equals 1 2/3.
Yeah.
For those of us that are confused, 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we take our answer, 1 2/3. We put it right there. All right. It says at this rate, it takes Kevin blank hours to walk to school. How do we find that?
Yeah, do the same thing.
Yeah, same thing, but backwards, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do that. So what am I doing?
2. Do we do 2/5?
Good.
Right?
Divided by.
Divided by 2/3.
All right, but I can't divide by a fraction. I got to multiply by the
Keep change foot.
reciprocal.
I can't say that word.
Reciprocal. Let me see you can look at my lips. Reciprocal.
Reciprocal. Whatever.
Good job. All right, so
Yeah.
2/5 times 3/2. 2 times 3 is?
6.
5 times 2 is?
10.
All right, let's try to simplify this. 6 and 10 can both be divided by what number?
2.
Okay. So I get?
You get 3. 3 and 5. Yeah.
Is that answer on there?
3. Yes.
Yes.
All right, good deal. Good job. Let's check our answer. Look at there.
Oh, we got it wrong.
Perfect team.
We got it right.
It says excellent.
We got it
Excellent means we got it right.
Oh,
Can you not
that
read?
was we got it wrong.
All right, good job, guys.
Come on, come on.
All right.
Mr. Martin, is that new student?
Who?
That Korean food.
No, she's a teacher.
That's a teacher.
Yeah, she's a teacher.
Oh.
All right, we got one more page and then we're going to go. So it says you've seen a variety of ways that proportional reasoning and unit rates are used in real life, and you have used different strategies and representations to help you solve problems that involve ratios and rates. In the next exploring, you will explore these ideas more deeply. You will use equations to solve problems involving proportional reasoning and unit rates. So in closing to our day, in any proportional situation, if we triple one of the quantities, what must happen to the other quantity in order for the relationship among the quantities to be the same? So say, for instance, I have 1, 2, 5, and we triple this part of the ratio. What has to happen to this 5 so that it's an equivalent ratio?
Oh, you gotta divide it.
All right, so right here for 1 to 5 to be equal to 3 to something, what has to happen to the 5 since we tripled 1?
Multiply by 3.
Correct. We're going to multiply by 3 because we want it to be equivalent. So 5 times 3 is 15. So that means that 1 to 5 is equal to 3 to 15. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Not really?
That makes sense.
All right, good deal. All right, my boys and girls, y'all have a fabulous day. I enjoyed seeing y'all today. Remember, my students that have work to do tomorrow, you got to do it. Now, today, our homework, everybody listen, our homework is to complete the guided practice questions 1 through 6.